Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It is Dave, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people, just like you and just like me. Well, as a guy who really supported Revolution Saints and talked about them incessantly for probably 2 months last year when they dropped their album, a lot of people sent me a new song yesterday by this singer called Isa. She's got a new album out on Frontiers, and the new song she released yesterday was a duet with my pal Deen Castronovo. The tune is called Sacrifice Me, and you can find that on YouTube and Frontiers when they tweet it out or over on Facebook. Uh, okay, because so many people sent me this song yesterday, and I think a few people were surprised at my response on the song. I'm going to tell you my line of thinking. And again, this is the world according to Dave. This doesn't necessarily mean I'm right about this, but this is how I hear music. This song is a typical song that comes from Frontiers. And guys, I know you watch my videos because you were using the video I did about Perfect Plan, which, by the way, is the best band right now as far as Frontiers goes, Dukes of the Orient as well. And I'm going to talk about those two groups, and how that relates to this song by Isa and Deen Castronovo. Now, first of all, Deen sounds fantastic on the song. He is the tenor heir apparent. He and Arnel Pineda are the two tenors out there who can sing and who have soul and who can hit notes and who can, pretty much do it all day long. Deen does add value to the song, no question. The song, though, to me, is the typical Frontiers production where you've got a lot of crunch, you've got kind of this piano which plays off of the guitars, and the guitars are... This whole thing it kind of flatlines in a generic way. It doesn't have enough melody. It doesn't have enough songwriting. It doesn't have enough twists and turns. And quite frankly, it reminds me a little bit of this Christian singer by the name of Plum, who came out in the late 90s, and she's enjoyed some success. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago, she had a huge song on Christian radio, and it's filled with all of this drama and angst and emotion. And yours truly doesn't do that well. It's not my cup of tea. Some people call it doom rock or doom metal. This isn't as heavy as the doom rock or doom metal, but it's got those elements that really, it just doesn't separate well from so much of what's on this Frontiers label. And by the way, a lot of the music that's come out in the last 20 years or so, the melodic scale is downward. It's downward. See, the reason I loved Revolution Saints is you've got guys that were in Journey, Whitesnake, and Night Ranger, okay? So they bring that and they mix it in a pot and they crank the volume up. Now, at times, even RS gets a little crunchy for me. I'd like to hear some nuance. I'd like to hear some, where I can hear an isolated guitar or keyboard part and not just this wall of sound which irritates the crap out of me because I can't discern anything from anything else. This is why, and I told you I was going to bring these guys in, the Dukes of the Orient, Strange Days, an isolated keyboard part that is brilliant, gives John Paul Jones a run for his money. Isolated guitar parts that are just Steve Lukather-like from the early 80s or late 70s. And vocals that bring out like a little bit of Ronnie James Dio and a little bit of John Wetton. And it's proggy. It's a different style. And so maybe it's oranges and apples. But I'm talking about how they recorded it. It's just got a different feel to it. It's more analog. It's more organic. Now let me get back to Isa and Deen. Isa is very lilting. She's got a very lilting... I compare her again to Plum and Adele and so many of these vocalists that I'm sorry, You're going to hate me. Some people are going to hate me here. I tune them out. I just tune them out. I don't find there's enough character. Look, I grew up on Pat Benatar, Bonnie Raitt, Janis Joplin, Joan Jett, Lita Ford, Patti Smythe, oh my gosh, Ann Wilson. And so that's a pretty good stable of amazing singers. She's got a nice voice, Isa, no question. She sings, she's not pitchy. She sings well. But her voice isn't my cup of tea. Deen sounds amazing, and I'm not saying that because we're friends, because we are. Deen sounds amazing, but for me, it wasn't enough to rescue the song. The bridge is a pretty good bridge. It actually relieves some of the tension in the song, and I liked the bridge, but then, the song comes back the way it was before, and, I hear the tinkling pianos that just, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm a classic rock guy, and this isn't classic rock. This is some kind of hybrid. It's somewhat melodic at times, but it's not melodic enough for me. She actually, I think, released a song a couple of months back, which I think I liked better than this particular track. But that's just my opinion on it. You can check it out. It's called Sacrifice Me. It's on Frontiers. It's by Isa with Deen Castronovo singing a duet. And it's interesting. It's going to get a lot of views, and Deen's probably going to be mad at me, but I always call it like I see it. So that's it. That's my review of the song. I'll be back with more real music in real time for real people, just like you right there, and just like me right here. We'll do it real soon.